When you fall in love with someone, you do become vulnerable. You do become weak. Their perspective weak. It's not actually weak. And they feel lost and their identity is missing. And anyone who is an avoidant or who used to be an avoidant, you can kind of relate to this, right? I used to be avoidant and I get it. There was moments just in life in general when things change where you're kind of uncomfortable that you have to be a different identity. And that identity is less tougher, less closed off, less emotionally detached than the person you thought you were supposed to be when you were younger, who you were taught you're supposed to be. And love shifts your identity. And especially if it's sudden, you fall in love quickly, you're in a relationship and you didn't really expect that it would happen like this. For the avoidant partner, their identity is shifting too quick for them to realize what's happening. And so sometimes they need to step back to realize that. And that emptiness of their life without you is not just a lack of you, it's a lack and absence of that new identity. And so this is where more of them start to date. Some of them do it on the second step, some of them do it on this fourth step. And some of them might not do it at all, but this one's a little more common. What they do is they start to date again because they're trying to find that identity of what they feel is missing. They're having a conflict internally. The identity they used to be without you and the identity they were with you, but they don't want to admit it's you. And that's why some of them start dating for this reason, right? It's not always a suppression of denial like with the second stage. This one is they truly are trying to say, okay, fine, I do like that identity of myself, but it's not attached to you. I can have this identity with anybody. So they start dating again. So then what happens is interesting. They start making comparisons. Comparisons are part of life and it's normal. I know people don't like to admit that people make comparisons, but they do. They start making comparisons about this person compared to you. And it's making them long for you and miss you even more, okay? And so the fifth stage is where they start to question what you're doing. And this is tricky because sometimes they might reach out even when they're still with that person. Yes, you guys have experienced that. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't had calls where this is happening. It does happen. Relationships are messy. I'm not saying this is wrong or right. I'm just stating logics. I'm not stating my emotion behind it. That's not fair to the person who wants information, that I put like a bias or, an ethical standpoint at this point, right? Nothing is necessarily clinically unethical, so I'm okay with talking about it for this particular purpose. I'm not saying for my emotions about it, but yeah, sometimes avoidants are in a relationship with somebody and they reach out to you. And they're reaching out because they're wondering how you're doing. Now, this is not the same as if an avoidant is using an ex to not, it's confusing because there are some avoidants where they use an ex to try and avoid the feelings for their current partner, okay? They're trying to sabotage it. Some avoidants do that. It's not as common, but it does happen. This is more like they are using the new person to cover up their feelings, but you, let's say you as the ex, are where their actual feelings are. So you're going to see this leak out, right? Most avoidants, well, a lot of avoidants don't really get mixed up into this, but it's seemingly getting more common, just in general. People are getting mixed up in all sorts of different types of things. Or maybe I'm more aware of it now as I just see different types of cases. But yeah, this does happen. And so they might reach out, see how you're doing. And the last one is the most important one. And this is where the regret comes in. They question if breaking up was even the right thing. They question if friend zoning you was ever the right thing because they start realizing, okay, I do like the identity I had with you. I can't get it with this new person. This new person also doesn't make me feel the good stuff that you made me feel. Yes, you made me feel the pressure and the pain and the feeling of failure because I felt like I wasn't good enough for you. Let's just say that's how the avoidant is feeling, right? But I also got to feel amazing feelings and I didn't even realize those feelings until they were gone. And so a lot of times they're starting to question. And then so what happens is they do try to reach out and beg for you back. And maybe you're done with them. You don't really care about them. Fine. You're welcome to move on. Or you might sit down with me and say, they're asking to get back together. What should I do? Is this genuine? And a lot of times it is. It really is. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but yeah, it's going to happen because they already learned their lesson of how life felt like without you. You don't need to give them another lesson. You can if you want, or you can move on, but I'm just telling you, this is true. And so overall, what happens is they realize no one else is like you when they feel how life is without you.